Good morning, everybody. It's Positive Tuesday today, August 31st, 2021. Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy is presented by ICAA. ICAA is your local social service organization that works together with individuals, families, and the community to create and support local solutions for local needs. For a full list of services, find them on Facebook or check them out on their website at indianheadcaa.org. Rusk County Sheriff Jeff Wallace was supposed to be our guest this morning, but about 25 minutes ago, he sent a text. Something came up, probably busting bad guys. Had a boy.
Yeah.
Something came up, so he couldn't be on. He asked to reschedule, but obviously he's busy right now, so we'll figure that out some other time and have him hopefully come on. So I had a whole bunch of things written down that I wanted to talk to the sheriff about, and then, you know, now he's not here. I'm like, oh, nuts.
He's just scared.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So we're just going to kind of wing it here this morning, as we usually do anyway. So, Fitzy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I kind of like this Saturday Night Live approach where something goes wrong, and you're just like, oh, what do I do? So I quickly rewrote just kind of our show flow that we usually use, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. So it's been a week. How are things going?
Good. Can't complain. Nothing major going on.
Complain.
Well, yeah, sure I can, but who would listen, right?
Right. It's Positive Tuesday.
A lot of people are complaining just on Facebook, but we'll get into that in a little while.
Yeah, good. Yeah, yeah. You know, let's definitely get into that. So I had a surprise on Friday morning. So I went to the courthouse. I had to sign some papers for something. I don't know. And while I was there, my dad was there as well, and he gave me the box. I was, what is this for? He said, this is from Barb. I'm like, Barb who? And Barb, is it Fuller? Barb? Yeah, Barb Fuller. Right. So he gave me this box, and inside of this box was a note, and I'll read the note. It says, hi, Ben. I enjoy your Tuesday mornings with Fitzy. You guys do a great job. Enjoy your new swag. Signed, Barb Fuller. And so I opened it all up, and there was a shirt in there, and I forgot I was going to actually wear that today that says Ben and Fitzy. Then she has hats, and I think I have mine here, and you have one, don't you? Can you put that up?
I got one, too.
Look at that. Ben and Fitzy, Positive Tuesdays. That was so cool.
They're so cool. Yeah,
I know. I love it. I got headphones on, otherwise I'd wear mine too. But that was incredibly kind. And then, so first of all, that was just great that she did it. I think she even had, Dad had a hat, I had a hat, and then also a long sleeve shirt with that logo on it. And then
she can be our sponsor there.
Pull it back just a little. There we go. Yeah, Barb's picture. That's who it was. Barb Fuller. Barb's, thank you, obviously, so very much for doing that. But the interesting thing was, because now you have it. Dad said that she had contacted him, and I couldn't open until Friday, and I didn't know why. But then I get a message from you.
Yeah, that I got this box. I got this cool hat and took a picture and sent it to you. And you're like, I got one too. And I know Barb and Mark Fuller, and they've known them for years. They're from the Cumberland area. Mark's a great coach. Barb does some wonderful work. They made this cool cup for me when we did a ride along.
Oh,
says
nice.
My name on it. Still got it. Even says the back says thanks. And then so I still have that on my desk. And they bought a ride along. I used to donate a ride along, and they bought one, and they went on this ride along. We just had a ball together, and they're big law enforcement supporters and big community supporters of the Cumberland area, and just some great people. And then she went out and made these hats for us, and I just think it's the coolest hat. I just love it. I just think it's so cool, and it's just nice to be able to know that maybe we made a difference, and that's what we wanted. And again, she does a lot of printing. She's got lots of products. We've ordered some Frisbees from her.
That's
like this.
There's a big hole in the middle.
Yeah, that's the new thing. Kids like these.
Kids and their long hair and Dan Fogelberg.
We've ordered lots of different stuff for her. Yeah. So she owns a print shop in Cumberland, just outside of Cumberland. She does great work for churches, schools, name it.
Awesome.
Yeah, so she deserves some props and some.
You bet.
Advertising and.
Hey, you send us free stuff. Well, definitely.
We're trying to get Mountain Dew to sponsor us.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah, and actually, since Matt's been so busy with all of his summer jobs, we still hasn't made our shirts yet. And speaking of which, today I think we're going to hit our 25 points so we can give away a shirt. And now I think about it, I think I just may call Barb and have it go all through her at this point.
Yeah.
So then she can just get whoever wins, after, if we can get to 25 points. So our trivia questions. So let's get to our trivia questions right away because I do have some things I wanted to talk to you about. There was a multi-vehicle crash in Cumberland yesterday. There was someone was charged on man for videos posting to Facebook last week. We have other topics to talk about, the drugs and meth town hall meeting, and of course Ron Johnson, and that's kind of, I want to talk to you about that a little bit more. But first, our trivia question, we just need 2 points.
Okay.
So I'm going to start, and actually, because college football is starting this week, mine is actually going to be on college football. So here you go. You ready?
Yep.
Which college football team has had the most number one rankings in the AP poll since its inception in 1936? So these are weekly, AP polls throughout the season. So since 1936, which college football team has had the most number one rankings? Is it A, USC, B, Alabama, C, Notre Dame, or D, Michigan? USC, Alabama, Notre Dame, or Michigan?
Alabama.
Are you sure? Remember, since 1936.
No, Alabama.
You're right. I was trying to get you. It is at 130. They're kind of by far the most.
Just think of the last 10 years. It's just.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts.
I'm pretty excited. Football's back. It's great. It's going to be some college football's back. Fans in the stands. Yeah. High school football's back. Fans in the stands. Yeah. We went up to Northwestern. Northwestern's got a great football team. Beat the Warriors on Friday night, and they got a great running back. It was a good game. It was good. We're going to Hudson this week to play Hudson for football. So I'm getting into this football thing and understanding it a little bit more than all my kids playing.
Yeah, I play Madden football. So that's how I learned. When I was a kid, that's how I learned about all sports. Because, we didn't have really TV. We just had PBS, and that was it. And so I would just play baseball games and I'd play football games. And then you learn all the rules while you're playing it. So in a weird way, yeah, that's how I taught myself. So you don't even have to have a trivia question today, since we had our 25, unless you do have one, and we can just do it for fun.
Well, I have one because I think it's an important one. This is how much does it cost if you illegally pass the school bus? School's starting this week up, so we got school zone school buses. So how much is the ticket? The sheriff's department pulls you over for passing a school bus. How much is the ticket? Is it $250 to $275, $275 to $300, $300 to $325, or over $325?
Well, you have these all so close together. Should be like 200 to 300, 300 to 400.
$1,000. Come on.
Well, I would like to think it was the highest one.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. But that's the answer I would like to go with.
Not
whatever.
Enough,
yeah. We want to go with E. Not enough.
Yeah.
I would like to think it's the highest one. Mary Hills, she was right on one before. What can you say those numbers again? 250 to 275.
Starts at 250 to 275, 275 to 300, 300 to 325, or over $325. Don't go with Mary.
You know what? I think I'm just gonna get 250. Actually, sounds right, but it does. I'm gonna go with Mary on that one. That was my first thought. Was just 250. I'm gonna go with A.
Yeah, it's $326.50. So you had your guess.
My first one was right. The highest one should be.
But it is school zone week where 15-mile-an-hour school zones go back into effect when kids are present, and basically give our school bus some extra spots. The kids are going to be excited. I know not all kids. I have a junior in high school. He's not excited to go back to school, but elementary kids are excited to go back to school, and that's what it's about. These kids are excited to go back to school. Yeah, Mary, it's okay.
Yeah. I was going to go D, but then Mary changed my mind. So, yeah, it's all on Mary. Oh, and we lost a point. So we're at 23. You got it right. So 3, so 26. We lost a point, but that still leaves us with exactly 25. So perfect. Right. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. It's just kids saving kids' lives. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
But give our kids some extra time. They're excited. They're going to be running. They're going to be looking for the school bus. So we just got to pay more attention in the mornings and the afternoons, and we've just got to watch out for our kids. Some are walking to school. They're going to be crossing. They're going to see their friends that they haven't seen, and little kids get excited. So let's take some extra time, be cautious in our school zones, and just make sure everybody has a great school year. I mean, it's all about school buses and school zones right now.
Yeah, because when you get ready and you go to work and you drive to work for the last 2.5 months, you're driving to work, and now on tomorrow, it's going to be a different drive to work. Right? I mean, it's not like normal, so make sure you just extra time. It's almost kind of like the first snow of the year.
Right.
Like, we've done this before, but the first one, that's right, snow. I remember how to drive on this. So that same mindset, just keep an eye out.
Right. I agree. And I think it's important. And so that's what it's about. So we're still at 25 points, so someone gets a shirt.
Yeah. So that'll be for next time. So what we'll do is, I don't know how we'll do it. So it'll be for next week's show. Anyone that comments or something right during the show, and then we'll pick a random winner at the very end. We probably should have just done that for today, but it's too late now. Okay, so let's get to a couple of things, some pressers and articles. Actually, I'm working on one article that I think will be out Thursday or Friday. Should have that ready, waiting for an update on it. I do actually have a question for you on that offline when we're finished. But you had put up something just yesterday. It was multi-vehicle crash near Cumberland results in injuries. We put that up on our website. It was a press release that you had sent. Anything that you can share? Do we know the status? One of them that wasn't a status update. It was unknown injuries.
Right. I don't think that one was very serious. It was serious, but nothing, not life-threatening. Neither of them were. But we did fly one of the subjects out. It was kind of wasn't quite a head-on. It was real close to a head-on collision just outside of Cumberland. We had Rutabaga was this weekend in Cumberland. They had a great Rutabaga festival. I cooked some pepper sandwiches for the Knights of Columbus. And
wait. Cook some what?
Pepper sandwiches.
Pepper
the
sandwiches.
Famous hot pepper sandwich in Cumberland.
Never heard of it.
Well, you got to get out more.
It's just yeah, I know. Everyone tells me that. It's just peppers?
Well, it's a hamburger, and then they put peppers on them. They cut up peppers. They cook these peppers hot or mild, and they're just they sell between 5,000 to 7,000 sandwiches during the Rutabaga Festival in 4 days. I mean, they're a popular thing. People wait in line. We had a great line Thursday. I worked a Thursday shift at Donate Time, and it's a KC special. There you go. That's what they're called. And worked from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Thursday, and we sold over 700 sandwiches during that 5 hours. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really cool. And all the money stays in Cumberland. They're all nonprofits, all these businesses, whether it's the Kiwanis or the ski club or the church, all of it stays there, and they take all that money and put it right back in the community. So it's not going to, the corn dog guy's new house, it's going to, So it's all goes back in the community. That's why people give, and plus they're really good. I don't eat the pepper sandwiches. I ate a plain cheeseburger, but the Kiwanis has a meatball sandwich that's out of this world. That's great, and I had a few of them this weekend.
We need to have a Ben and Fitzy show burger somewhere at some local place.
Okay, there we go.
I don't know who would do that.
And we'll give all the proceeds. $1 of every burger can go to something.
So, actually, it sounds really stupid, but I kind of like that. Yeah, we should do that. I'm writing that down.
Okay. Now we just got to find a burger place.
Yeah, burger. You keep talking while I'm writing. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, the crash.
Yeah, right.
So they had a great Rutabaga, real safe. Chief Wolf did a great job over there with her new team. She's the new Cumberland Police Chief. She did a great job with her team. But we did have a crash yesterday. Like I said, a head-on with one flowing out. I don't have any updates on that, but just got to be careful. Wear your seatbelts. That's the main thing, and it's too bad for that one. But hopefully, I think everyone will be okay.
Good.
With that.
Good.
Yep.
And if anyone is just tuning in, expecting to see Jeff Wallace, he had texted shortly before the show started, and something came up, so he needed to reschedule, but that's why you're not seeing him. The other thing was this was a Chetek incident. I believe the Chetek Police Department, so I don't know how much the Sheriff's Office was involved in this, but our headline was, court accepts plea on case charging man for videos posted to Facebook. I don't know if you recall that story at all, or if anything that you wanted to add to that.
I think that was the case where he was by the elementary school and made some threats, and we went out there and assisted Chetek PD with that. case, and I don't know the outcome of that case. But he obviously took a plea and pled guilty or whatever he did.
Yeah.
But we're just going to take those cases real seriously, and you can't make any threats or you can't make any, overt gestures and things when you're near a school or about kids or anything like that. And Steck Police Department did a great job with that case, and we just wrapped that one up, and that's what we do. So.
Yep. Speaking of so at the very beginning, we had said that Barb Fuller had sent us some swag, a couple of hats, Ben and Fitzy, Positive Tuesdays. Do you have that hat again? We can put that up.
Yeah.
Yep. So she had sent both Fitzy and I that. She made those for us. Didn't even tell us it was happening. Just sent us some boxes and some shirts. So thank you very much for Barb. And so I had gotten my box when I was at the courthouse signing some documents, but also when I finished there. Oh yeah, there you go. There's Barb. Boom. Ooh. Yeah. When I was there, I went up because
hold it still.
Stop moving.
I can't do it. We need one of them placards. Yeah. Don't you have the thing we can there? Whatever. It's Barb's custom interest. Forget it. I can't do it.
So while I was there, I went up to the second floor at the Washburn County Courthouse just to pop in and say hi to my wife, Drusha, who works at the DA's office. And when I was finished, I was only there for a few minutes, but it was just great seeing them interacting, etc. So I put up a post on my personal page, just acknowledging Jerusha, Rana, Lindsay, and there's another person that works there, Deb, but she wasn't there that day. And when I was leaving, I would go by the clerk of court's office, and there's the Shani Anderson, and there's Amanda Schaefer. I mean, it just kind of hit me on the way back home that, holy cow, do we really ever stop and say thank you, or at least recognize all the work that our staff members, our county employees do to keep these offices running. So I don't know how many people you have in the sheriff's office in terms of non-police officers. Actually, how many do you have? Because you also have to throw in, cooks? How many people do you have?
There's 78 total employees here, and you don't always think about the dispatchers or jailers, but then you have that support staff that support us.
Yeah, that's who I'm saying, the support staff.
Yeah, right. The support staff that keep us running, and there's no question about that. And you have to thank everybody, and we need to do a better job. And that's why we started this show. We just got to do a better job of thanking those people, whether it's the social worker or the support staff or whoever it is, because and that's why I love that people thank our police officers, and I love when we go to events. But you're right, the behind the scenes, they don't always get it, whether it's the person that types the cases every day or answers the phone or takes all the money for serving papers and
the scheduling and the communication, and because a lot of these support staff have been there longer than if it's a sheriff's office, or I'll just use the DA's office, longer than the DA and the ADA, because especially in the DA's office, those positions change, but they stay the same. They're the ones that have the knowledge, they know the contacts, they know what to do. So it's almost the situation where it doesn't kind of matter who that person is, who's the politician, who's the elected person, or at the county clerk's office. Lolita in Washburn County is phenomenal. She wears so many hats. She does so much work. And we always give her praise because it's justifiably so. But then you have to look at all the people that work in that office, and the Rosies and the Ellies, and oh my goodness. They're the ones that really kind of keep everything going. So I just want to take a second and say thank you to all of them. I know we talk a lot about, firefighters, teachers, cops, nurses. That's like the Mount Rushmore of thank you for doing what you do. But it's also those people behind the scenes. So just wanted to take a second to say thank you to all of them, not just Washburn. I mean, we have the best. Certainly better than Barron.
Right.
Right. You must be distracted.
Yeah. I'm all blurry. I'm trying to figure out why.
I don't know. I don't know what you did.
I don't know what I did either. Trying to figure it out. Am I blurry on your end?
Yep. That'll happen. Anyway, we can still hear you just fine. So let's move along here. So you have a...
but my face is the...
Yeah, I'm not sure. I got a little notification on my screen saying something as well, but I didn't look at it. I was busy talking and giving praise to our support staff, and you were worried about your camera. He doesn't care. Fitzy doesn't care about support staff. He just cares about how he looks on camera.
Wait, Use some analogy. Give me the note. Give me the sound.
Okay, yeah. Yep, there
Yeah,
you
there. It's it.
go. All
Analogy.
right, so because Sheriff Wallace wasn't on today, that's why we're just kind of like rambling on here. But I do want to ask you about the drugs and meth town hall meeting in Barron. You talked about it last week on the show, and then you sent out a press release and a flyer, and we put that up yesterday. Obviously, this is featuring, or quote unquote, featuring Ron Johnson. And Ron Johnson, to me, is like Wisconsin's version of Donald Trump. He's very polarizing. I mean, you have a strong opinion one way or the other. And I wanted to ask you about that a little bit because on our Facebook page, after we published it on our website, then on Facebook, someone had commented a Sherry, why something. The comment was Ron Johnson has done nothing but put up barriers to help people regarding drugs and substance abuse. He has no place in this discussion. The reason I wanted to bring that up is because this is going to be DHS Director Frolic, yourself, and then Ron Johnson being such a polarizing person. Is that taking away anything from this discussion? Is that going to create, some division? And what in the world is he doing there? And if so, did you anticipate this? Or maybe you're not hearing it at all, but I'm seeing more of it on social media now that it's been published.
Well, sure. Everybody has an opinion on social media, and sometimes that takes away from the issue at hand. And I don't think I think it's wrong in this case. I mean, sometimes people have opinions, and this isn't a political comment. This isn't. Ron Johnson called us and said, "Hey, can you have a excuse me? Can you have a meth hall meeting? I want to learn more about it. You have some great programs up there. Let's hear about it. I'm coming up there to do some other things. I want to do this." So he's the one that gave us the idea to do it. We've always wanted to do this, and people are like, "Oh, don't have it at 3:30." Well, that fits into his schedule, and I'm not doing it. We're doing it for him because yes, he can help us maybe get some grant money. If he helps us get one grant about it, I don't care what side of the aisle he's on. If he helped Barron County do something, great. If he doesn't, maybe he goes back and tells the next guy, you know what, they got some great programs up in Barron County. You got some drug problem down here. Maybe he's just an advocate for us. I don't really care what side of the fence he's on, but and I think it's wrong that people started to bring that up. Everybody wants to make it about political, whether it's masks or it's this or it's that or it's this. Quit making it about politics. I mean, we just have to stop some of this and do, just because you don't like the person doesn't mean he isn't going to do good. I mean, Romaine's a perfect example. I mean, some people didn't like Romaine, but he did a lot for Barron County. I don't care what you say. He did a lot for Barron County. Whether you liked him or not, he didn't do it to be liked. He did it to make a difference. And all we're doing is trying to make a difference. And so Ron Johnson wants to come and say a couple words about meth. Maybe he won't say much, but I don't care what he has to say is if he can help us stop the drug problem. So anyway, it's Thursday, September 9th at 3:30 at the Barron Area Community Center. We did it at the Barron Area Community Center so we can spread out. I don't expect there to be 9,000 people there, but I'm hoping to get 100, 150 people there to learn about some of the great things we're doing. Yeah. Drug court is one of your topics you want to talk about later on, but we have a drug treatment court right now for families. We started a family kind of a drug treatment court, and they're doing some great things, and DHS Director Frolic is going to talk about some of them great things that we're doing with some of the grant money we're getting. So if Senator Johnson or whoever, Dave Armstrong or Romaine Quinn helped us get some grants for that, I don't care what side of the aisle they're on, they're doing it for people in Barron County to make a difference, and that's what it's about. So quit making it about politics. I wanted to delete some of those comments last night, but they kind of worked themselves out. I'm not into deleting comments, but quit taking it away from the issue. We got a meth problem. We want to stop it. And, it irritates me sometimes that some of this, everything has to become so politicized. And we need to come to an end with some of this. And whether you like him or not, I don't care. Just come and listen to us talk about what's different in Barron County. If it draws 10 people in because Ron Johnson's coming there and 10 people wouldn't have came to listen to Stacy and Chris, but they're going to come to listen to Ron Johnson and they learn something about meth in the meantime, that's 10 more people I reach. That's all I care about.
You would say that as a Democrat. Oh, wait, don't make it about politics. All right, okay.
Yeah, don't make it about politics. That's right. But, it was, I agree. So obviously I'm a little irritated by it, but yeah. It's just everything is about just because, I don't know. There's some other comments out there, I don't know. It's just.
What is it?
People don't like the answer that you're getting, and so they want to They want to make it about something else because they don't like the answer they got, and it's irritating.
Yeah, we've talked about this several times, I think, about you were the one that first brought it up. I don't care if you what that letter is after your name, whether there's a D
Right.
or whether there's an R. That doesn't matter. If you can help my county, then yeah, I'm totally going to be down for that. Don't
Right.
care about the other stuff like at all. And unfortunately, I mean, this is a good time to bring it up because I have a funny feeling we're going to be talking about this more because starting next month, which is technically tomorrow, we're going to start seeing local, regional, and state races and candidates announcing because we're coming up on an election cycle. So
Right.
and if we're already in that place now, that mindset now, and I know before it used to be because of Donald Trump, right? And there was some validity to that about the divisiveness and creating that, and but he hasn't been in office for a while now. So why are we still doing this?
Right.
Just I don't know. Look at it at face value. I couldn't care less. How many Democrats do we have on the show, and Republicans do we have? I don't care. When we have Congressman Tom Tiffany on, he's a Republican. If Tricia Zunker won and she has to be on once a month, yeah, totally. You're a sitting United States
Right.
Congressperson coming on for a live show once a month for half an hour. Yeah, I'm totally doing that.
Right. And the problem is some of these people aren't. I mean, you don't seek them out. Like
Nope.
Ron Johnson called and said, "Hey, can you teach me about meth?" And I said, "Hey, I want a meth town hall. Sounds great.
Yeah.
I'll be there." It wasn't like, "Hey, I need to sneak up to Barron County and I need to, make some political statement and I want to secretly do it under the meth." Come on. It's not like that. He's got other things to do up here, but at the same time, he wants to be here about meth. So let's quit talking about politics and let's talk about the meth problem.
Yeah, because trust me, Fitzy and I don't think that deep. We don't have these big master plans. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get Ron Johnson. I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
We're face value kind of guys.
Right. But somebody asked when it is again. We've talked, it's Thursday, September 9th at 3:30. It's going to be 3:30 to 4:30. We're going to be at the BACC, which is next to the 800 Memorial Drive, right next to the Mayo Hospital, next to the Barron High School. Meth in our community. And Ron Johnson's going to be there, Sheriff Fitzgerald, and DHS Director Stacy Frolick is going to talk. And we're going to just give you an update about meth. We haven't talked a lot about meth because of COVID. It's kind of taken away from it.
You mean grass? The grass is growing.
The grass, right? We can't talk about COVID. We have to talk about the grass growing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Today is International Overdose Awareness Day. I just seen a post by Marshfield Clinic. They just put a post, which is August 31st. So overdose means having more of a drug or combination of drugs than your body can cope with. The signs or symptoms of an overdose differ with each type of drug use. All drugs can cause an overdose, including prescription medications. A lot of people don't think that, including meth. It's important to know the right amount of medication to take and how often. We got to end overdoses now. I just looked at some of the numbers between 2015 and 2019. 2015, there were 88 deaths in Wisconsin for overdoses, for meth. In 2019, there was 166. So in 4 years, we tripled our numbers or doubled or quadrupled our numbers. So 166 deaths in 2019, which isn't a lot because meth is a different drug.
Yeah.
But cocaine was 112 in Wisconsin in 2015 to 298 in 2019. If you look at all opioids, so that could be prescription, anything you want, we went from 613 in 2015 to 918 people died from overdoses. So you're talking 1,000 people died from overdoses, and we got to do something about it. So we just need to do a better job of talking about this problem, recognizing that people have problems, getting help for, reaching out, getting some help. I know there's not a lot of help for meth, but I think we've done a pretty good job of doing some prevention work in Barron County, whether it's inside of our jail or DHS Director Frolick's Family Treatment Court. We talked a lot about drug court, and I know that's a topic, and we can probably talk about it here for 10 minutes. Drug court, well, what's your definition of drug court?
Yeah, so I think it's wrong, and that's why I wanted to bring it up. I literally just have written down drug court. So, right. So I was talking to Burnett County Sheriff Tracy Finch recently, and somehow this came up. And skipping, I realized I don't think what I think drug court is what drug court is, and I didn't realize it and we didn't get a time to finish our conversation, so I just thought I'd ask you. So here's what I think or thought drug court was. If I, I don't have a criminal history, I've never had an OWI, it's I don't have an issue with drugs. All of a sudden I start, drugs, whatever kind, we'll say meth. And all right, getting into it doesn't matter if it's for a week or a month, but I'm not a drug dealer, and I get busted. And I go in, and they look, and there's no other factors. There's not a domestic. There's not anything else going on. Just simply, possession of, drug paraphernalia and meth. Then that would be an option for me to go to this drug court thing and this treatment thing and go through all of this, where this will either be off my record if I go through this program and stay clean for so long or something. I don't know. And that's, what it's for. And that's why we put a lot of resources into it. And that's what I thought it was. So can you tell me, is that what it is?
Well, no, not really.
That's what I thought. And so now I don't understand what it is.
Right. Well, drug court, a good way, kind of a simpler way to think about it, drug court is people that are going to go to prison, and it's in lieu of prison. So you're not going to go to prison for selling meth tomorrow. If you only caught you the first time you were selling meth,
right.
We caught you selling meth, you're not going to go to prison for that.
Okay.
If you were selling it to kids, I think you should, but that's a different story for a different day. But so you're going to go, but there are some other alternative sanctioned programs we have out there, or maybe you'll just serve 30 days in jail and 1 year probation, or whatever the thing is. But
sure.
Say this is your 4th or 5th time and you have this problem, then we try to, do I think it's always right? I have. Drug court has been a sticky subject with me because I think it should be for the first guy and not the guy that's been doing it 4 times, because we should have helped him the first, second, and third time. And if he's doing it the 4th time, it's time for him to go to prison maybe. So, but there's some different theories out there about and blah, blah, blah. But there's family drug treatment court. That's why I was a big proponent of helping DHS Director Frolick with that, because it helps moms and families that have kind of a drug problem get off of it. And we're holding something above them, which is their kids. And most people on drugs want their kids to stay in their lives. And that's what it's about, keeping the families together, not putting kids into the system, not putting adults into the system, and keeping them together, and then having some, I think they've done a pretty good job. It's still new. I think Tracy Finch has got a pretty good program up there. I think they, we've, not through this program, but our original drug court program, they started something up there with her team, and they were doing a really good job with that. So hats off to them for that. Because it's about stealing ideas, If they got a good program up there, I'm going to steal it, and vice versa if they want to. A lot of people have copied our jail program across the state, because that just seems to help. If we have one person stay off meth, that's great. If we keep one kid out of a system, that's $100,000 to DHS. Yeah. I mean, we've said that before on this show.
Yeah. I've always believed in that. That's why I'm a huge supporter of it, and I don't care if it's a 98% fail rate, and I have no idea. I'm just throwing out a random number. If the majority, like after 3 years, it doesn't work, and I know it costs more money, but you know what? If it's just one, if it's one thing, Brian Cole talks about that a lot. Man, if I can just save one person, that's good. Just reach one in terms of his faith in Christianity. Put a lot of resources into that, because you never know who that one person could be. And that person could go on and change other people's lives in a positive way. Who knows? Maybe they invent a light bulb that lasts forever. I don't know. But man, absolutely, let's try to do that. I just didn't understand it. I thought it was for that first offense, a way to, let's catch it now. Let's go through the treatment. Let's educate you. Let's this and that. And then after that, now we start locking them up. But come to find out, it isn't necessarily that. So it seems as though it's kind of hopefully you'd learn your lesson, but now it's, instead of the first time we're going to try to help, it's almost more of a, I wouldn't say last resort, but before we go to prison, we got to do something here, and here's your last shot, buddy. One more go at this, otherwise you're in prison.
Right. And I think we're guilty of that sometimes. We look at the cost of it too much, and I did when I first got into being part of drug court as the sheriff, and said, this isn't cost effective for us, and we have to look at some costs. But then again, if we can help one person, what's the cost of that? You can't put a cost on, a number on prevention, and that's why prevention sometimes gets a bad rap. It's the same thing we talked about just with politics. Yeah. Who cares about the politics if Ron Johnson can help Barron County get a $100,000 grant? I don't care. But, I'm not saying he's going to give us that, but hey, if we put enough pressure on him, maybe he'll give us some grant money or find us some grant money. Fantastic. I don't care. But it's the idea behind that. We always can't think of the dollars and cents. You have to, as the boss, think about it, but it's more about helping a person. We've got to do a better job.
I agree. Anything else that you have up on, or anything that you wanted to discuss? That was the last, because I quickly wrote those things down. For anyone that's still or just joined us recently, Jeff Wallace wasn't able to make it on the show today. He's going to reschedule. Something came up right before the show. That was all that I'd written down quickly and hastily.
Yeah, and I talked about overdose because it's International Overdose Day. We do have a grant where they want us to talk about that. So, I think it's important. So that's part of a grant that we get through Marshfield Clinic to do some programming. And so that's why I talked about International Overdose and some of those stats, because I think that's what it's about.
Agreed.
But it's to raise awareness. And there's a long question on there about sober living.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now.
We're trying to start some tiny homes out there. I think you're on the right track. I think we're on the right track to do that, because I think that's where we're missing out. I think if we look at the meth problem as a big picture, it involves jobs, it involves homes, it involves friends, it involves sometimes a church community or a different community being involved. It's about getting out of, if you're my dealer, Ben, and you're the only guy I talk to, well, if I get out of jail and go right back to you, what am I going to be doing again? So if I can get away from Ben, then maybe I can do better in life. It's a better chance if we can increase those odds. But it's a lot about housing and living. And if no one's going to let me live with them because I burned all my bridges, then I'm going to go back to your house and live on your couch. And you're going to obviously say, well, let's do meth tonight. It's Tuesday. And say, okay.
Right. Positive Tuesday. So
Positive Tuesday.
Some meth.
But no, I think Tiffany's got a great point on that. And I just think it's about housing is a big thing right now, whether it's low income housing or drugs. I mean, we still have this issue. That's why, again, I've been involved in a lot of different groups that maybe a sheriff doesn't always should be involved in. And people say that because that's what it's about. It's about the homeless. It's about working to get tiny homes brought into Barron County so we can solves our meth problem, or helps meth problem.
Real quick, is that something that is, so those homes, those placements, etc., is that a private business type thing where someone else has to do it? Or because the drug treatments and the drug court, or the drug court, certainly it's paid by taxpayer dollars, right? And I don't know if there's grants for, I don't know how that works, but is this something that it could be in a county? Obviously, there's a tax levy, so you can't go up, but could this be put into the county's budget, or this is actually separate? We just work with this private business.
Well, the Tiny Homes is a private nonprofit through the Benjamin House, the Benjamin House in Rice Lake, which is our homeless shelter for the Barron County community. Works with it, and Lori Zarbuck does a great job as our leader out there doing that, and she's working on this tiny home project with many of our nonprofit groups across the county. So that's what it's about. So, but could it be a county-driven program? To some degree, I think it will be, because if they have a worker or something, they might be able to place them in these tiny homes, and so it might be offset a little bit where it's probably a joint deal. Yeah, so it can be, though. We could start our own tiny home project, put them out here, and say you got to be here at 9 o'clock, and at 6 a.m. you go to work, and if you're back here at 9 p.m., I think that would work, where they have some structure. Structures, look at our kids. When we give our kids structure, they follow more rules to some degree better. And I'm not a teacher, so I don't, they do, but they're the ones growing our kids, and good luck to all our teachers again as we start school, and thank you for the work you do as our teachers. So but that's what it's about, and that's what we have to do to make a difference.
That's why I misbehave all the time, because Drusha doesn't give me any structure. Ben, at 9 o'clock you do this, and at 9:30 you do this. She just kind of let me do whatever, and that's why I'm always in trouble.
This is really part of community service. That's why we started this. So Ben has structure from 8:30 to 10:30 every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday at 8:30. It's like the only thing I've written down. I got to be there at this time. Yeah, and I agree. I just want to throw that back up here. Tiffany had put up, willing to talk about what worked for me. 5.5 years clean. I just want to say congratulations, Tiffany. Outstanding. Awesome. Good for you.
And for people that come out and mention that, I mean, that's what come, if you happen to be available Thursday the 9th, come and and tell Ron Johnson how housing makes a difference. I mean, I think that's the kind of stuff we want to tell him. I'll tell. And Romaine worked with us day in and day out and attended these programs for us and with us. And Dave Armstrong does the same thing. And Janet Booley's helped us out. So, I mean, that's what it's about. I don't care what side of the fence. I don't read your letter behind your name. If you can help Barron County, we're in. So, Ben's back. We're talking about marijuana. We're not talking about marijuana.
No,
we're talking about
That's enough. Yeah. All right, man. Thank you very much. Oh, someone else I forgot to mention that I put it up before, but Brian Cole. Brian Cole's legit, man. And obviously there's two parts in Brian Cole, the pastor, and then there's the Brian Cole, the recovery from meth, and that story. So, it's like this duality of who he is. But yeah, he's a great resource for that, going through what he had gone through. So, Fitzy, anything else?
I'm waiting. Ben wants me to read his comment. I'm just reading his comments. But I just have some issue with it, Ben. I know you're trying to teach me and I'm trying to learn, but I still think that some marijuana usage leads to meth use, and that's my concern. But, you're working on it. I appreciate it. And but just we're still hesitant a little bit on that. So I agree with you, Ben, but I don't want to, I'm not dissing you. I'm just saying this is about meth, and we're going to talk about meth, and marijuana maybe will have its place someday, but until we get a little bit more research into it and look at how Colorado's doing. But I still think they have a meth problem. So my concern is that, and maybe it's an uneducated concern, but I'll keep doing my research with you, Ben, I promise. So,
all right, man. Hey,
anyways, we'll see everybody Thursday, September 9th. I think we're on next week, aren't we? Next week is it's the day after Labor Day, so everybody have a great, safe Labor Day. It's Labor Day weekend.
Oh, that's right. It's Labor Day weekend. School's starting right.
Labor Day weekend, so boating, trail riding, we'll be out there doing that. We'll expect some heavy traffic this weekend. School starts, so it's kind of weird how we start school for 3 days and then have 3 days off, but I think that's a good routine to get our kids back into our routine. I know my kids could use a routine, just going to bed, getting up, different things like that. So,
I've been working exclusively from home. Right. We have 5 kids, so 2 of them now are still in school, at middle school. So I've been at home because Drusha has to go to, she has a real job, not like mine. So I'm at home with the kids, and yeah, it's like, holy cow, I can actually, get back out again a little bit. It's almost like a routine for the parents. I think you had mentioned that a bit ago, for just me to kind of get back in a routine. Because I feel badly. I'm sitting there working, and, the kids are, I've given some projects, but a lot of times they're just standing around. It's like, I don't know what to tell you to do. Go play in traffic. I don't know. All right.
No, don't tell.
Thanks, man. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden. You've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by ICAA. ICAA, I love that hat, man. Thank you again, Barb Fuller, for that. ICAA is your local social service organization that works together with individuals, families, and the community to create and support local solutions for local needs. For a full list of services, find them on Facebook or go to their website at indianheadcaa.org. Fitzy and I will be back here next Tuesday. And a reminder, I will be on this Thursday for another morning chat. I don't remember who I'm having on Thursday. For someone will be on Thursday. Now I remember, but I can't tell you. Yeah, I can't tell you. We'll announce it tomorrow, and you'll understand why I can't tell you now. We'll announce it.
I don't even know.
Yeah, exactly. And until a few minutes ago, I forgot. So now I remember. So we'll announce who our guest is on Thursday. We'll announce that tomorrow. So until then, stay safe, stay positive, and as always, have a blessed day.
Make a difference.